Hey guys, Micah from Black Bear Custom Kydex. I've got a very cool video for you today. Some of you might think it's cool. Most of you will probably actually think it's super nerdy, but I am a nerd through and through with this stuff. So let's get into this. So recently, I saw a post on one of the Facebook Kydex pages from another Kydex maker, another Kydex company called Secret Squirrel Concealment, asking if anybody was able to design and create a mold, a custom mold for him. So I reached out and said that I had just recently started getting into that kind of thing. You guys might have seen some stuff recently on the channel, like my my SafeMaker 1 and 2 molds, or my K-Bar TDI molds, or things like that. I've recently started getting into 3D modeling. Well, this was the project that he wanted. If you guys are not familiar with this item, I was not prior to speaking with him. This is a Garrett HD metal detector. It's just kind of a handheld wand that you can scan for metal, and it's a product. A holster for this was a product that Troy was interested in making available to his client base. So I was really excited to try and take a whack at this, and he wanted to play ball as well. So he sent me this to take some dimensions on it and see if I could figure it out. Well, before long, I had it modeled up in the 3D software that I use, and sent it to a machinist friend of mine who was able to create this. So this is the mold. It's what's called a split mold. You typically see these for firearms, but it's basically the front side and the back side of the item both kind of cut in half and facing upward, mounted to this back plate. Obviously this is all one piece, but you get the idea. You see a little bit of a hardware, not a hardware recess, but there's a recess here to give clearance for the buttons on it. And then this is actually what's called a hardware recess, and it's blocking, quote unquote, blocking for molly lock. So you can attach a large molly lock to the end product there. Over here you can see some blocking, and these are for an MRD, or mag retention device. And you see a few drill indicators here. Now this basically gets machined out of a single piece of HDPE, and then I drill air channels through it in strategic points and put a weather seal around it. So when you put this over a hole that's hooked up to a vacuum, and it evacuates all the air out from below this. You can also see this moat that I carve into the top of it. And that actually is what creates the seal on the top side. So it's kind of a cool little process that I came up with, and my machinist executed this just beautifully. So I'm going to cut right now to a video of the first shell that I formed on this. I'll do a pretty quick one. I won't make you watch the full thing, but it'll be just a quick video that shows you this thing in action. I just think it's really cool, a lot of fun, kind of fascinating. So regardless of whether or not you are a Kydex maker, I think you'll probably enjoy checking that out. So let's see that now. Boom. All right, so I think that was pretty cool. I hope you enjoyed that as well. But you can clearly see that it almost instantaneously takes the form that it needs to take. Now the process after you do that is to drill any holes you need to drill in it. And the drill indicators on this are very helpful to get the drill bit to stay straight and track into the hole where it's supposed to be, rather than potentially, walking a millimeter off in any direction. So you do that, and then you can put the same shell onto a trim jig. Now this thing is, I know it looks really skeletonized, but the whole idea with this, per the suggestion of my machinist friend, was to leave only enough there for the Kydex to be able to lock into place and get a positive fit on this trim jig, which would save time, because it takes a lot of time for the CNC to actually create these rounded edges. So this works absolutely beautifully. I just put the shell on top of it, it locks in place, and then you buzz it around a flush bearing bit on a router table, and boom, you have a piece of Kydex that looks, well, it looks like this with this outline. So it's a really cool process. Then you heat your center line and you fold the Kydex over the actual detector to get it to stay aligned. You can put some eyelets through also to help the alignment, and flare that eyelet over and you're pretty much done. You might want to do some finishing to the edges and then you install the MRD, but overall it should come out looking something like this. So I was very pleased with this process. I sent Troy a video of it in action and he was very happy with it. He thinks it's spot on. So basically the point of this video is to sort of advertise, is to show off the products, but it's also to advertise that custom mold making is now something that I want to offer to you guys. So if you are, it probably doesn't apply to many of you, but if you are a Kydex maker and you are looking for custom molds for things, you can definitely reach out to me and we can talk about that kind of project. I would really love to do more of that. So if that's something you're looking for, please don't hesitate, get in touch and we will talk about it. For the rest of you guys, if you're thinking of getting something that's just a totally unique and custom piece that might require 3D modeling and things like that, feel free to reach out. But I want to give you a warning that this is not an inexpensive process. So you have to kind of be ready to pony up that money if you're going to be doing a project like this. It's not really meant for a one-off custom piece. It's meant for more high quantity production. So for those of you who are just Kydex fanatics, fans of it, and looking to get all kinds of cool stuff, I know that this is probably something that would be very tempting, but I want to temper your expectations to that idea that this is really meant for repeating the process and getting exact replicas of a given item over and over. And it's a lot of fun to do. It's one of the more common things in the Kydex industry, but there aren't many guys actually doing the modeling and machining stuff. So now that I'm kind of in, one foot in the door there, I'd love to start taking on more projects like that and keep increasing my skills and with the 3D modeling and yeah, I think this is a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think. Is this the kind of content you'd like to see more of on the channel? They tend to be probably short videos to show this kind of thing off, but I would also love to start showing you guys a little bit more of the process here and there. Obviously not the full thing, because that I don't want to train you everybody to do my job for me or anything, but it would be a lot of fun for me to share with you some of the nerdier side of this that I get excited about. So if there's anything in particular you'd like to know about Kydexing, about how things are made, about any of this, definitely comment that question down below. I'll try to respond to it as soon as I can. And otherwise, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you think all of this came out. All right, guys, like, share, comment, subscribe. Stick around for the next one. God bless.